Hey, David Franklin here once again with Wesley Morris. And it's always fun to hang out with Wesley because God's been doing a bunch of stuff. Wesley, Time to Revive is out there. We talked about some individual encounters that you've had with people and seen people get saved. What about the impact on churches? What's going on in the churches?
Yeah, so we were talking about Pecos. One of the things I saw was a couple pastors in Pecos. There's probably only, 18 or 20 churches in the whole city. I think we partnered with 6 or 8 of the main ones. But I saw guys that were kind of discouraged. Pecos is kind of, not everybody's going to Pecos. It's kind of what I would call the backside of the desert. And so sometimes guys feel like they're out there and they're just kind of doing ministry. But I really saw some guys get totally transformed by going and sharing the gospel. Where ministry had become ministry, they were kind of just doing it and didn't know what was going on, just processing through that, a little discouragement. But I actually saw these guys get out on the street and start sharing the gospel, going to different places to where the pastor of First Baptist Pecos really got touched by God. And I actually got a text from him after we had left. He went to the hospital and was visiting somebody. He started leading people in the hospital to Christ.
Wow.
Really just radically transformed. A cool backstory is we actually send teams out after we're gone. So we raise up a local leadership team, and they actually continue. We just don't come and leave. They keep going out. So their first outreach, they went out. It was him, his high school daughter, his daughter's, I think, a junior in high school, sophomore, junior in high school. They actually led a team out. Well, their team was 5 people, which is kind of big, so they went to the local park. Well, they split up. So Pastor Kevin took his team, and then his daughter Ruth took her team. And Pastor Kevin met a guy in the park who had never heard the gospel.
Never heard
ever.
The gospel.
Hadn't talked about sin, walks him through the gospel, guy gets saved. Well, the cool story is Ruth, his daughter, actually met some students in the park that she knew. She led 5 people to Christ in the park by herself. And so I get this text message. It's about a mile long, man. And I was just, for me, that's a home run.
Yeah.
When you see people actually continue, especially a high school student leads 5 people to Christ, I think they actually, the next month they went out, she led some more people to Christ. So it's really fun to see, you pass it on. It's discipleship. You raise people up, you train, equip them, but when they start doing it, for me, that's a home run.
Yeah. Wesley, you and I have talked. It's easy to get bogged down in ministry, especially for ministers. People teaching Sunday school class. It's not just the pastors. It's all of us that work so hard in the kingdom, but sometimes we forget the most basic stuff, and that's sharing the gospel. And it's fun to see people come to Christ.
Yeah, and we say some pretty cool stuff with reconciliation. In West Texas, it's more of Hispanic Anglo culture.
Yeah.
So we partner with the largest Anglo church, but we also partner with the largest Hispanic church. And the second or third service in, one of the Hispanic ladies stood up and just corporately said, "You know what, I just want to say we forgive you guys because we remember the day when there were signs in the windows of restaurants, no Hispanics, no Mexicans allowed."
Wow.
And we want to just bury the hatchet with this. And then another guy steps up on the stage and says, "Hey, I represent the Anglo church, the white church. We want to say sorry." And we saw this really crazy coming together, man, that really shifted some things to where I talked to the pastor, it's Word of Hope Church, Pastor Lee Serrano. And after Revive Texas, man, he said his church was packed out. It was really fun to see God just really stir up the body of Christ, and they're still going.
In a city.
In
a whole town. But that's what happens when we work together.
It is. So, it sure is.
Listen, guys, if you ever want to just have some fun, just call Wesley. He'll talk to you. Okay? Wesley, God bless you. And guys, let's win Bartow County to Christ.